Well, I mean, I don't think any of us should really be surprised as to what happened at the end of Monday Night Raw. It was just a couple of days ago where Ronda Rousey stated on Twitter to everybody that the next time she sees Becky Lynch, she's going to quote-unquote beat the shit out of her. End quote. Not surprised by what happened at the end of Monday Night Raw. I was a little worried, but I'm glad we got back on track, and we'll talk about it as we get on into the review. But does this mean Ronda Rousey is turning heel after what she stated at the end of Monday Night Raw with Charlotte, Stephanie, and Becky Lynch, who is now not suspended anymore? Her suspension lifted. I don't know what's going on here, man. I'm enjoying the ride, but we'll talk about it. That was the big thing that closed Monday Night Raw tonight. Also, the one thing I was most interested in was Dave Bautista, someone who was not in Philadelphia for Monday Night Raw. What was going to be said about him and what he did during Ric Flair's birthday party last week. Triple H came out to address that. We'll go over that as well. And then obviously the nauseating reunion. I lost count. I don't know. Is it 4 or 5 times with the Shield? I lost fucking count. If a reunion of the Shield is something that interests you, you might have a fucking simple pea brain. This is god-awful. Nothing about the Shield is remotely interesting. And WWE, of course, just like they did with Roman Reigns and them embellishing his cancer situation, they used that situation to try and get another Shield reunion out of it. Can't say that I was very entertained or I cared. And I don't know who the fuck would care when the Shield is being placed at Fastlane with Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin. Now I know which match I will be taking a nice steaming dump during. Just giving you a fucking warning. If you see the review on Sunday night and you get no description of what happened in the match, you know where I was. This is Monday Night Raw, folks. Monday Night Raw, March 4th, 2019. I am, of course, JD, the sexist. The sexist, because I don't agree with Torrie Wilson going into the Hall of Fame. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, man. Thank you guys so much for all your support this week, and another Grand Slam with Off the Script. If you missed them, Sal Rex has them beautifully just lined up in one nice little picture here, man. Look at that. Look at it. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. We got an AEW video. We got the sad truth about Roman Reigns, which we will go over again today. Vince McMahon furious over Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch and the Twitter feud that was, how it got started. You know, some people were actually making fun of me about me saying that it had Paul Heyman DNA in it. I would say the same thing tonight, that Ronda Rousey's promo had Paul Heyman DNA written all over it. So we'll go over all that. But if you missed any of my videos, man, they are live on the channel right now. All you have to do is click the little eye in the top right corner. And Sunday's Off the Script, where we go in depth about Kofi Kingston. Everybody on this Kofi Mania bandwagon, I don't know what everybody is so concerned about. Kofi Kingston's probability with the WWE Championship just hit astronomical numbers. He may actually be the WWE Champion walking out of Wrestlemania. We go over all of that on Sunday's episode of Off the Script. If you missed that, that will be in the annotation that you see in the top right corner as well, man. And a fun fact, as always, my haters are always the first to watch everything that I upload. If you guys want to follow me on social media, man, it was a great time tonight. Death threats, sexist, racist. I heard it all tonight, man. I love it. I love triggering people over pro wrestling. I love it. The community is such a great environment. I mean, I can't be away from it. At JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. Please follow me on Twitch as well. JD from New York. I do the video game deal over there. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And make sure when you click the bell, make sure you guys click on all uploads. Not some, all. If you guys want to support the podcast on Patreon as well, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Got to throw it out there as well, man. We sold over 185 for the month of February. And we are red hot right now as far as merchandise on bonfire.com. JD's Elite is exclusively available on bonfire.com. If you guys want to go get yours today, that is where you could do it. Link is down in the description of this very video. Go and get yours today. The first batch is shipping out this week. You guys should get it this week. The second batch will be closer towards WrestleMania. But if you guys want to support, great way to do that is by buying a t-shirt. JD's Elite, the #1 selling t-shirt of all time as it pertains to Off the Script. So that is on bonfire.com. Link is down in the description of this very video, man. Thank you guys so very much for all your support. Monday Night Raw. Let's start from the top. Monday Night Raw opened, as I got my notes here on my trusty iPads, what I usually do during Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, hour 1 opened with Roman Reigns. Man, if I could give anything in this world to not hear Michael Cole yell, "the big dog." I mean, I commentate for House of Glory. I don't think I've come up with anything as cringe as that. Or anybody on my commentary team has come up with anything that cringe. Like Michael Cole yelling, "the big dog." Man, I didn't miss that at all. I don't know who the fuck is missing that when it pertains to Roman Reigns. Comes out, and I mentioned it on Friday, folks, and my theory is definitely in effect here. It's not the AEW effect. It's not any other effect. It's the Roman agenda. WWE is obviously all aboard Roman Reigns. They're in Philadelphia. This was going to be a big test for WWE. Philly's one of those big smart markets. So, from what you guys heard, the plebeians out there who listen to this show or watch this show, you probably heard all cheers. So, when I'm watching at home, I heard those cheers very audibly have a deeper tone to them. Underneath that cheering and that love for Roman Reigns, there was an audible portion of the audience that was booing the shit out of Roman Reigns, and rightfully so. WWE needs to be careful about this, folks. WWE needs to be careful about this. What they did tonight was fine. I mean, barring this Shield reunion again for the 17th fucking time, I mean, what they did with Roman Reigns tonight was okay. He didn't come off as a manufactured fucking product of the WWE corporate offices. He came out there. He was very genuine. He was very heartfelt. And he was Joseph Anoa'i. Again, for a second week in a row. Opening Raw. I'm over it. Business is at hand now. Roman's back. He's in remission. He's healthy. He is going to be active. He's at Fastlane, as we've seen tonight. It's the road to WrestleMania. You got your little funny little t-shirts out there. They're selling on WWE Shop. You got those fucking funny little bracelets. Good. Make all the money you want off Roman's condition. Now it's time to get back to business. Enough of this fucking, "oh, Roman is back. Oh, Roman, he looks so good. I'm so happy." Enough. I am a very caring individual, believe it or not. But when I see this shit again and again and again, please, when you overexpose it, it is not important, it's not special anymore, and people will not care as much as they did as in the beginning. Please, no more. So Roman came out, boos and cheers, a mixture of both. More cheers than boos, but the boos were heard. Open your ears, clean your ears, get a Q-tip, you fucking clowns. So he comes out, and Roman chants all over the building, paces around the ring, he's living it up, he's embracing it. Taking it all in. Same as last week. And he broke into a smile. And he said last week was the comeback, Roman said. And this week in Philly, it's time to take our yard back. So he goes on to say that he had to think about his future and what he wants. I thought about my future. And my future does not include Roman Reigns. Just throwing that out there. Too soon? I don't give a shit. He said there's one man standing in his way of what he wants, and that is Seth Rollins. Now, at this point, I was starting to get worried. I'm like, here we go. WWE is going to live it up. They finally got what they want, and they're throwing this guy right back into the main event, and everybody's going to fucking hate him again. Leave it to WWE to fuck it all up, which I still believe they will do, but right now they are containing themselves. They're being patient. They're being good little boys, is WWE creative. I want to see them get those itchy palms. They'll put this guy right in the main event and give him the Universal title, and then everything that he's done up until this point will be a complete waste of fucking time. Seth Rollins. He said for him to get what he wants, he needs to address Seth. He called Seth to the ring. Cole said Seth challenged Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. That's 34 nights away, by the way, which we still don't have an exact card for WrestleMania. 34 nights away, and we still don't know an exact card for WrestleMania. Believe that? Yeah, but this is the company that is the biggest wrestling company in the entire world with the biggest show of the year in pro wrestling happening in 34 nights. Not one fucking match outside the Universal title and a makeshift Raw Women's Championship match. Unreal. And then I'm the one who shouldn't complain about what we see on television. Seth came into the ring. He hugged Reigns. Seth said before they get into any other business, seeing him last week in the ring, knowing he won the fight for his life, was one of the greatest moments of Seth's career. He said it made him feel like he can do anything, so he's taking that motivation to WrestleMania, and he's going to slay the Beast. He's actually got a nice-looking t-shirt, man. It says, The Beast Slayer. So, if I am going to put this puzzle together, WWE came out with this nice new-looking t-shirt that says, The Beast Slayer. That would be a real waste of fucking resources if he doesn't go to WrestleMania and slay the Beast, correct? So, WWE just really throwing it in your face about what's going on. Or maybe Roman is inserted in the main event and nobody slays the Beast, and we go back to having Monday Night Raw absolutely fucking terrible every week. Worse than it is now. I don't want to throw that in the universe, but it's there. I mentioned it on Friday. Now, he said he's going to slay the Beast. Great. He said he's going to win the Universal title and bring it back to Raw where it belongs every single week. That's where it really does belong. On Raw every single week. Seth turned to Reigns and says he knows what it's like to vacate a title and never lose it. He said if anybody deserves a shot, it's Roman. Great, win the title, then give him a shot at the title. Okay? I was worried at this point. I was worried they were going to have a match at Fastlane. I was worried they were going to have a situation where they put Roman in the mix or do something funny to get him in the mix. I'm glad that they didn't go that route. Now, Roman's looking around, and Seth continued on to say, I thought you knew everything, but you're wrong. So he goes on to say, while he was gone, was Roman, Seth said, while he was gone, one person looked over this place, or Roman said this, one person looked over this place, said Roman, he pointed to Seth. He said, nobody has more confidence in him than he does. He said he knows what it'll take to beat Brock. He said all he has to say to him about WrestleMania is good luck, my brother. So there you go. Then he goes on to say, I need a favor, though. Seth goes on to say anything at all. What is it? Says he wants to get the band back together one more time. I don't know, man. This band is past its peak. They have no hit records anymore. They're like Metallica, man. As soon as Black Album was over, done. The Shield is Metallica current day. God-awful, old, has-beens trying to relive their former glory. But they know that they can't put out anything that they did in 1987 that's going to top Battery and Master of Puppets. Or And Justice for All. I keep forgetting about And Justice for All. That was a damn good fucking album. But I go back to Master and Ride the Lightning, which are my two favorite albums. Ride the Lightning being my favorite Metallica album, and The Four Horsemen being my favorite Metallica song. So, The Shield is Metallica, current day. They just don't know when to give it up. The Shield is like James Hetfield on stage doing that fucking country thrash mix vibe that he's got going on. 50-year-old guy trying to play thrash metal. Kurt Hammett trying to do solos, which he can't even fucking play anymore. Lars, who is the worst drummer of all fucking time, trying to fucking play battery and do double bass to one that sounds sloppy and just fucking god-awful. This is the Shield. This is the Shield, people. You don't believe me, you got a fucking problem. This is the Shield. The Shield is Metallica in 2019. Has-beens trying to relive their former glory. After what Ambrose did on that night, no way, man, says Seth. Reigns says he has his work cut out for him, so fans, like a bunch of fucking zombies, casuals, starts chanting for the Shield. Really? Philadelphia, you disgust me. You want the Shield. Who wants the Shield? Why do you want the Shield on Monday Night Raw? Are the Shield going to make Monday Night Raw better? Are the Shield going to add any value to the overall show that is Monday Night Raw? No. You're only going to add a segment in which I reach for the remote control and change it and put on the Food Network to see who I could just watch on a given Monday to see who beats Bobby Flay. I don't care. I don't care. Now, he told Seth when he's out, he looked through a different perspective, and this is where it gets nauseating. I look through a different perspective, he says, Seth Rollins. The fact is, tomorrow is not guaranteed. We don't know how much time we have left. Life is short. He says relationships are the most important things that we have. Yes, yes. Now you're a fucking preacher on top of everything else that you are, Mr. Roman Reigns. If I want this type of speech, I'll go to church. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. He said relationships are the most important thing that we have. He said he doesn't understand what's going on in Dean's head, so he wants one more moment with him. Another Shield chant is breaking out because Philadelphia is a bunch of fucking idiots. Graves said it would be tough for Seth to consider forgiving Dean. Seth contemplated for a few seconds, and then he said that he put that part of his life behind him. And he says, you're right. Roman, you are right. Life is too short. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. You want the Shield one last time. Then for you, my brother, I am in. So now they want Dean to come to the ring. So WWE, in a very pathetic fashion, they're using Roman's situation. They're not using his cancer or his leukemia per se, but they're using the aftermath of what one goes through when they go through such a life-altering moment with leukemia or cancer or an illness. Life is not guaranteed. Your tomorrows are not guaranteed. Life is precious. The most important things in my life are the bonds that I have with my brothers. Spare me. Spare me. We don't need a Shield reunion, and I don't need you to sucker me in to feel sorry about why the Shield isn't together because Roman just went through leukemia. Give me a fucking break. We've seen it once, and that was all we needed to see. We've seen it twice, 3 times, 4 times. We didn't see it enough times at that point, I guess. To WWE. Whatever the case may be, it is absolutely fucking worthless to WWE television. But I guess it's a great way to market and sell t-shirts because WWE doesn't sell enough of them. So Dean's in the ring. Or Dean is coming out. He's not in the ring. He stands on the ramp. He's pacing around like a fucking lunatic. So Dean walks out. He stood on the stage. Gets ready to speak. And Elias comes out and smashes him in the back from behind with a guitar. Reigns and Seth run to the stage. And Elias fled to the back. They didn't go chasing after him. I guess there was some force field that stopped them from going into Gorilla and chasing Elias. They left Dean last week, but now they want to attend to Dean and let the attacker get away. Just a little thing that I noticed there. But this was ridiculous. I mean, I don't care about a Shield reunion. Roman wasn't all that nauseating, but the simple fact that people are still calling for a Shield reunion, man, how simple can you people be? Really? This is what interests you? Of all the things that are going on WWE television, this is what you want? A Shield reunion? We got Johnny Gargano, we got Ricochet, we got Aleister Black, and we got WrestleMania coming up. But you want to focus on a Shield reunion. And they're billing it as the last time ever. And this was a common theme throughout the show. Roman tried to talk to Dean. Seth tried to talk to Dean. Now, I don't want to throw it out there because I know it's not going to happen. But Seth turned on the Shield. Dean turned on the Shield. The only one who hasn't turned on the Shield is Roman. I would love if all of this was a complete ploy by Roman Reigns to sucker both Rollins and Ambrose in and turn on them, ultimately turning Roman heel, and he can go into being a heel character, which I would enjoy thoroughly, and all he has to say is, it took cancer for me to get over with you people and feel for you people, right? Or you people to feel for me. It took me to have a life-altering disease, something that could have killed me, for you people to show me respect. Go fuck yourself. That's exactly what I did, not in those words, but along those lines, that's exactly what I would do with Roman Reigns. And off to the running with heel Roman Reigns. Now, I don't think that's going to happen because WWE would shit all over the momentum that Roman Reigns has right now. They waited 5 years and fed God knows who to Roman Reigns to get this guy over and failed miserably at it. The fact that this guy is finally over through organic means with this leukemia, and the fact that he is now the biggest babyface in the company, something that I'm sure Vince McMahon is pitching a tent over 24 hours a day in his pants, they're not going to take this and ruin it and turn him heel now when they finally achieved what they wanted. That's exactly what I would do. I don't think Roman does not add to this show as a babyface or any iteration of him now anyway. He didn't add then, he didn't add now. Or he's not going to add now. He adds nothing to this show. So I don't see what the big deal is turning him heel. In fact, he would actually be on a trajectory course upwards if he was a heel. Because right now, where he is, he may be looking upwards, but sooner or later, folks, this is going to come crashing down. Downward spiral for Roman Reigns as a babyface, because you know WWE is going to get those itchy palms or sweaty palms, and they can't help themselves about just giving, feeding Roman all the talent on Monday Night Raw. What bad would a heel turn do for Roman Reigns? It would actually be beneficial for him to turn heel. I don't think it's going to happen for those reasons that I just cited, but one could dream. I don't want to go into the whole Roman needs to turn heel spiel again like I did several times already in the past, but this is the best thing about what could happen here for Roman Reigns. That's just me. But Roman was, I guess, likable, if you want to say. They didn't go really over the top with it, but they're using his life perspective after leukemia to now warrant a Shield reunion. Nauseating. Absolutely nauseating. So Charlie Caruso then interviews Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Lio Rush backstage. So Drew McIntyre interrupted her and said he broke the Shield up months ago. Yeah, some great job you did at that, Mr. Drew McIntyre. He says they are all three pathetic individuals living in the past, which makes him sick. Corbin said they take on Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Kurt Angle tonight in a 6-man tag. Great. Man, I can't wait to see this one. Kurt Angle in the ring again on Monday Night Raw in 2019, man. Let me get my fucking popcorn and my fucking sody pop ready. I can't wait. Fucking bullshit. Braun Strowman, Kurt Angle, and Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and Baron Corbin. Who cares? Honestly, did you watch this match? They tried to make it exciting. They did all the same spots that we've seen for the last 6 months with these fucking people, right? Braun Strowman running Lio Rush. That was the only good thing about this match. He ran Lio Rush over to a point where now when they forever put that barricade up, it's going to have a fucking permanent indent of Lio Rush in it. That was the only good thing about it, but how many times have we seen that spot with other people before Lio Rush? So Lashley, Corbin, and McIntyre win. 15 minutes completely wasted on the opening match of Monday Night Raw. We had Angle in there doing fucking German suplex after German suplex after German suplex. And believe it or not, there are people in the community that still want Kurt Angle to have a go-home match at WrestleMania. Or a retirement match at WrestleMania. At this point, you're ruining all care, as far as I'm concerned, about seeing Kurt Angle in the ring ever again. The only time I want to see Angle in the ring is if it's in video game form. Right now, this is not doing anything for me. So, afterwards, the heels triple-teamed Balor in the ring. Or, by the way, by the end of the match scene, Strowman plow Lio Rush into the barricade. Drew left because Strowman went too hard into the barricade. Lashley tagged in, speared Balor for the 3 count. Now, afterwards, the heels triple team Balor in the ring, beat him up at ringside along with Angle, throwing Angle into the steel steps. Renee called this next level brutality. Really? What do you call what happened at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view when you fucking double, what was it, a triple powerbomb through a double stack of tables on Braun Strowman? Yeah, this is next level brutality. Renee Young, shut your mouth. So they slid the stairs into the ring, went after Balor again. Lashley and Corbin slammed Balor onto the steel steps, and Drew McIntyre, as a lackey, is standing on laughing and cheering both of his heel mates on. Now, Drew McIntyre, before he left the WWE, was in a stable or a group called 3MB. I don't see any difference between 3MB and what we see here with Corbin and Bobby Lashley. In fact, it may be worse. It may be worse, believe it or not. But Drew McIntyre is supposed to be the next kingdom, or the next king of this Monday Night Raw kingdom, right? Yeah, but he's ultimately going to be fed to the last ever appearance by The Shield. Great job there, WWE. Great job at building new talent for 2019. Anyway, moving on here. We had Heavy Machinery backstage, and Charlie Caruso was interviewing them. I love Otis. I think Otis is great. She said they seem to be in a good mood, but nobody seems happy that they're on Raw. I wouldn't be happy that they're on Raw either. I would just assume that everybody's looking out for their well-being. I don't even think they want to be on Raw. They don't like the catering department, man. There's not enough steak in the catering. Camera caught tag teams backstage. They cut to a highlight package that was filmed earlier in the day. You got Connor and Victor of the Ascension. You know, fucking lame. You have Victor looking there with his green face paint, laughing like a fucking jackal. Ascension is complaining about the NXT call-ups, getting opportunities before them. You've been on the main roster for 3 fucking years. Now, what are we supposed to wait forever for you? Getting opportunities before them. They made fun of Otis. Zack Ryder says he saw Otis at the gym earlier and he's insanely strong. Connor says he's a dumbbell and left. So Otis is back with Charlie and he's trying to remain calm. He says he's sensitive and that hurt his feelings. Monday Night Raw hurts my feelings every week. I'm sorry, Otis. I feel for you, bro. Tucker put his arm around his partner and said he's going to make it right by taking on each of those teams one at a time. Now, I figured, in logical fucking fashion here, Heavy Machinery 1 week would go through the B team or the fucking F team for failure. I don't know why these guys are still together. Why is this a team on Monday night still? I don't understand it. I figured that Heavy Machinery was going to run through 1 week the B team, 1 week the team of Ryder and Hawkins, another week the Ascension, and then maybe build them up for a tag team title match. Something like that. That's a logical way to go about it, right? But WWE books them in a gauntlet match of sorts, a half-assed, weak, lame gauntlet match, where they have to take on all 3 of these teams in consecutive fashion, back to back to back, in the same match. This is WWE creative at its finest, folks. And a great way to not only kill your tag team division, but also show you how lame their tag team division is. So it's a no-win situation here. I don't understand it. They're just showing you that the tag team division is absolutely fucking worthless. Completely fucking worthless. This plastic cup filled with water is more valuable than the tag team division on Monday Night Raw. Just saying. Natalya and Ruby Riott. Natalya wins in 4 minutes. She went for the sharpshooter. Ruby powered out. And then she went for an inside cradle. And Natalya rolled it over and reversed it and pinned Ruby Riott, man. Man, Ruby Riott is having a blast. In the last month, Ruby Riott, man, MVP of Monday Night Raw. Losing to Ronda Rousey in about fucking 90 seconds. Coming out and losing to Ronda Rousey the next night in a rematch. And then losing to Natalya here in 4 minutes. Man, who's better than Ruby Riott on Monday Night Raw? You know what Ruby Riott needs? SmackDown Live. Or better yet, AEW. Just give this man a call, bro. Give this man a call. He will be there waiting with Pharaoh with open arms. Make sure you bring dog treats. Please. Make sure they're organic, too. He looks like he eats healthy. Fuck out of here, man. Are you fucking kidding me? Ruby, was it a necessity to see this match on Monday Night Raw? You couldn't cut this match and give this 4 minutes to the Revival and Aleister Black Ricochet, right? For the Raw Tag Team titles? I just don't get the logic. I don't get the logic in why this match was happening. I thought there was a blow-off in that table match. Apparently, Ruby Riott and Natalya have unfinished business. But Ruby Riott is absolutely fucking buried on Monday Night Raw, man. If anybody deserves a change of scenery right now, it went from Sasha Bailey over to Ruby Riott. Get this woman off of Raw and away from this fucking nonsense and put her on a show in which they will value her. Please. She deserves better than this. The Riott Squad is god-awful, but Ruby Riott deserves better than this, man. She is one of the best female talents that this company has, and they're wasting it away for absolutely nothing. We have Saturday Night Live co-hosts. I don't know who these guys are because who the fuck watches Saturday Night Live? I mean, Saturday night, I'm having some craft beer out somewhere, man. Who the fuck is home watching Saturday Night Live? I thought that shit was canceled. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live since the days of Chris Farley. So, please, spare me your criticisms. I don't care. She's with these two Saturday Night Live goons, Colin Jost and Michael Chi. Who cares? So one of them's wearing a New York Mets hat. You can tell automatically he's a fucking loser. And they're the guest hosts for Monday Night Raw. I guess they're going to be the consultants or the correspondents for WrestleMania 35. Man, I guess a Hollywood A-lister was just completely off the itinerary for correspondent for WrestleMania. I don't blame them. Nobody wants to come to this fucking shit show. We don't even have a card. Nobody knows what's happening at WrestleMania. So who the fuck wants to come to WrestleMania? Fucking Christ. Anyway, I heard Monday Night Raw might have a revolving door of guest hosts for the remainder of WrestleMania season. Great. People I don't care about. Awesome. On a show I don't care about. Great. Great job there, WWE. Now we get into the good stuff. We have an hour of complete fucking mindless garbage. And we get into the good stuff. The one thing I actually cared about on this show. Bautista. Dave Bautista. Has an Instagram video, a selfie video on Instagram. Says that it's not out Raw. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's not out Raw because he doesn't want to be there. Let's get Dave Bautista an Academy Award, bro. He deserves one just based off that. He said he doesn't have any other obligations, and he's not scared. But he just doesn't like Philly. That makes two of us. I love the crowds. Actually, I can't really gauge Philadelphia. I've been there once. And I got to visit some of your breweries out there to get a good grasp on how Philly is. I gauge these cities by craft beer. If you're high on my list, you're good people. Simple as that. He said he's going to think about how much he doesn't like Pittsburgh. I guess Raw's in Pittsburgh next week. But maybe he'll see them there, meaning the crowd, and he'll see Hunter there in Pittsburgh. So we're going to play things by my rules until the game's over. Did you see what I did there, he says? And that was it. Bautista looked great. He sounded great. He came off in a prick-like fashion. Exactly what we need to see and hear from Hollywood Dave Bautista, man. Love it. He had that I don't give a shit vibe. He had that Jake the Snake vibe going on. Just fucking exuding confidence and just this prick just rolling off him, man. I love it. Some people think I'm a prick. Maybe me and Dave Bautista could go out for a cup of coffee, man, and just talk about our common themes together, you know? Anyway, Triple H is out there, comes out, and he says he has plenty of reasons to be upset. I got plenty of reasons to be upset too, Triple H. I mean, I watch this show every fucking week. I got a laundry list of criticisms. Said a week ago he had the opportunity to sing praises of Ric Flair, one of the great legends of this business. Said he could stand out here for an hour and sing his praises. He said he's not upset about that. He said he's upset because he lost his chance to talk about the human being behind Ric Flair, Richard Flair. So here WWE is going into the land in which they did not need to journey into. What I mean is WWE didn't need to bring or break that fourth wall here with this feud. All they needed to do was build off exactly what Dave Bautista stated. Do I have your attention now, Hunter? That's all they needed to do. And here Triple H is going into Ric Flair. Everybody knows the man Ric Flair, but they don't know the man Richard Flair. Now we're breaking kayfabe and we're going into the real life person behind the Ric Flair character based off last week's happenings. And Triple H mentioned that when you look at me and when you talk to me, you know, you ain't seeing the game. You're talking to the man. He didn't mention himself by Paul Levesque, but we knew what he was talking about. This is somewhere WWE didn't have to go with whatever they were doing here. So right out of the gate, I'm like, here we go. I don't like this already. He said he was around Rick for his best moments and worst moments, vice versa. Said he was there for some of his weddings, but he wasn't able to be there for all of his weddings because Ric Flair got married like 5 times. That's a big commitment, he said. So there were some laughs. There was a joking side to Triple H here, at least a little bit. He got serious right away and said that he was by his side when he buried his son, and this is where Triple H started to get emotional, quote unquote. And this was a man who a little over a year ago was in a coma clinging to his life. And Triple H looked to be hiding back tears, which he really wasn't. He was doing a piss poor job at acting. But spare me the fake tears that were or should have been in this promo. You know, if you wanted to mention some of this, you should have got really emotional about it, because that's how important Ric Flair is to you. But in this promo, it was nothing but fake emotion and WWE breaking kayfabe for absolutely no reason. So he said Flair is a man who a little over a year ago was clinging to his life in a coma. He said that during his time, his phone rang. Every time his phone rang, he got a sense of dread. And Triple H started to break up, you know, into tears, or his voice started to crack. Said he was worried that every time the phone rang or he picked up the phone that he was going to get the bad news that Triple H feared that Ric Flair wasn't going to be around anymore, that they lost him. He would have been gone. He would have died, passed away. He said he was supposed to bring Flair out for his 70th birthday to do one thing he loves more than anything in this world, stand in front of the fans, but that didn't happen because of this piece of what is it? Piece of what? Piece of shit. Bautista. He didn't say it, but that's what he wanted to say. He said Dave Bautista wanted his attention. We all know why, he said, and this is where it really got good. It went from cringe to really good, fast. It's no secret. You've cried about it online for 2 years. He said when he got injured last November, Bautista maybe thought it would go away. He said Bautista, for the first time in his life, when he didn't get what he wanted, he couldn't just quit. He said when fans didn't give him the reaction he wanted, he quit. He said when the fans didn't give him the respect he deserves, he quit. He says that's what Bautista does. So this time he attacked a 70-year-old man who was lucky to be alive, who wanted to be out there one more time, have one more moment, and you took that away from him. He said now he's popping up on the big screen, going bad guy 101 on him, ripping on the cities, and he's saying he's going to play the game his way. Original, Dave, goes Triple H. Original. So yeah, this is what it is. Triple H was looking into the camera, and he wanted to get his point across real quick to end this thing. He said he'd go to, you could come to my house. I'd invite you to come over wherever he is. He said he'll go to his movie set or wherever, just name it. He said he will be there every night. Have some balls and show up. He said this isn't something they're putting out there and playing characters. This isn't just Triple H. This is the man that he's going to face in the ring. He said he needs to look him in the eyes like a man and tell him what he wants. He said he wanted his attention, and now he's got it. And then Triple H threw the microphone down and walked out of the ring. I thought this was good, and I thought this was bad. I thought this was a mixed bag. I didn't like the fact that Triple H needed to go into, this is Richard Flair. This is not Ric Flair. This was Richard Flair. WWE breaking that wall of kayfabe for absolutely no reason. If WWE kept it simple, they always gotta over-season everything that they do, and I don't really know why. You put too much salt in the pasta sauce, it's not going to be good. You put too much salt in the fucking water while you're boiling the pasta, it's not going to be good. This is what WWE does all the fucking time. I don't understand it. They needed to keep it simple. The story was told. Bautista was ignored for 2 years about wanting to come back to the WWE. This man is wanted a WrestleMania match with Triple H. He wants to retire Triple H, or he wants Triple H to retire him. He wants WrestleMania. He wants another year in the company. He wants to give back to the company that made him who he is. He wants a Hall of Fame induction. And Triple H ignored Bautista. The WWE in general ignored Bautista up through WrestleMania last year, when it was originally supposed to be The Rock teaming with Ronda Rousey against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They couldn't get Dwayne. Then they had a plan B in Bautista. They didn't really give Bautista a call after announcing plans for that, and they ended up going with Kurt Angle. It was probably the best match on the show, but I much rather would have seen Dave Bautista in that role than Kurt Angle, because Kurt Angle felt like a true last-minute replacement. But the story was told there, and WWE didn't need to do anything. You ignored the man, and he wasn't invited to the birthday party. They kept it a secret from everybody, and Raw ended in a great cliffhanger last week. And attention to detail. Bautista beat up Ric Flair, dragged the cameraman over into the locker room, dragged Ric Flair out, looked into the camera. Hey, do I have your attention now, H? And he yells into the camera, and Raw goes off the air with Triple H tending to Ric Flair as Bautista ran out of the building. It's great. You didn't have to do anything besides that. Well, why don't you just build off what you've been given already with the story? And why do you got to go into... That's not a big deal. You might not be thinking it's a big deal, but it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. The feud didn't need it. The feud doesn't need Paul Levesque versus Dave Bautista, okay? It's Big Dave, the Animal Bautista, against Triple H. Just take what they've been given and use it. And WWE, as always, overseasons everything that they are given. I don't understand it. Charlie had a busy night. She's everywhere. Asked Stephanie McMahon for her thoughts on the situation with Ronda Rousey. This was the other big story. Appearing to vacate the title. And Charlotte declaring tonight that this would be her coronation. Stephanie said that Charlotte might be getting a little presumptuous. She said Rousey placing the belt on the mat was disrespectful and blasphemy. Monday Night Raw is disrespectful and blasphemy, Miss McMahon. I don't know where the fuck your head's at. She said WWE is going to do what is best for business. They're dropping all charges on Becky Lynch. And Becky's 60-day suspension is officially lifted. Now, she said Becky is not 100% physically, so she invited her to the arena tonight so she can sign a hold harmless agreement that says if something happens to her at Fastlane, WWE isn't responsible because Becky will be facing Charlotte at Fastlane for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, at this point, I was a little taken back by this. That was quite the news-breaking revelation in one promo. Now, this is great. Becky and her suspension was lifted, right? She's going to be back on Monday Night Raw. Everything's good to go. She's going to be fighting for the Raw Women's Championship, right? Yeah. Cheer. Go crazy. Get excited. But I'm over here thinking, you got Charlotte and Becky Lynch, who are both SmackDown Live superstars, fighting over the Raw title. Did Ronda Rousey really give up the Raw Women's Championship? I mean, it looked like it, but she didn't really say, I'm giving you this title back. I don't want it anymore. She just laid it down. She didn't really vacate the title. She didn't say she was vacating the title. WWE just took it as such, and they ran with it, right? And I was worried up until this point, okay, well, if you're going to crown a new Raw Women's Champion at Fastlane, Obviously, Charlotte's going to be the Raw Women's Champion coming out of that because I can't see Becky losing or winning the title there. I can't see Charlotte losing. So what does this mean for WrestleMania? Is Ronda not going to be the champion going into WrestleMania? Is Charlotte instead going to be the champion going into WrestleMania? What about Becky? The whole point of the match is for Becky to submit Ronda as champion and win the championship. That's the whole fucking point of the story. Now, it wouldn't really, I guess it wouldn't really matter because Becky could still do that, but Ronda wouldn't be the champion. You see, Ronda being the champion is a very important aspect of this story. Charlotte could be the champion, and Ronda could still tap out to Becky, and Becky could still win the women's championship. But it's going to lose a lot of potency. It's not going to be as big of a moment if Becky doesn't beat Ronda and Ronda is the champion. So I'm thinking in this situation, well, WWE is probably preparing us for Ronda to be in the main event, but they still want to keep Ronda undefeated. I'm thinking at this point in the show, damn, they don't want Ronda to fucking lose. Maybe Becky is going to pin Charlotte at WrestleMania and win the Raw Women's Championship and end this thing. But the whole story is between Becky and Ronda. So I didn't know what the fuck they were doing here. I'm going to quote my buddy Jesse. He said it best tonight. It's like, I want to be on this journey, but it seems like WWE is driving us on this journey and they don't know where the fuck they're going anymore. It's like they got lost midway. So I was worried during this. Now, I tweeted something out, but it really wasn't something to shit all over. I was just concerned. And I was going to give it towards the end of the show because I knew something was going to happen at the end of the show with Becky being there signing this agreement and Charlotte being there with Stephanie McMahon. So I was genuinely concerned up until this point. I didn't know what they were doing. But leave it to WWE again to over-season their fucking pasta sauce. They had a homemade sauce fucking handed down to them in this feud. I don't understand how difficult it is for WWE to keep these women apart from one another. On the road to WrestleMania, you have 30 days, and you can't keep them apart? You've done a damn good job up until this point. You can't do it for another 30 days? I don't understand why they try so hard when everything was literally just gifted to them during this entire thing. This was a terrible move up until this point. Thank God they rectified that at the end of the show, but they're taking way too many unnecessary risks or detours to make this unpredictable. It comes off as them trying too hard to try and tell the story. Sometimes simple is best. Really. I don't understand it. WWE in a nutshell, they try so fucking hard and it just comes off as them trying too hard when the story was already written for them. They sold the shit out of this on social media, did Becky and Ronda. None of this was necessary tonight. None of it was necessary in my honest opinion. Why? Moving on. Reigns is walking in the back. He looked at Dean Ambrose. They were in the basement or the bowels of the building. Ambrose is backstage. Reigns walks up to him, looked around, said they thought they were past hanging out in places like this. They have a locker room. You can come talk to me and sit down with me and talk to me anytime, man. Reigns offered to talk about anything with him anytime. Dean says, I got to get ready for my match. And he walked away. So that was that. This fucking worthless storyline continues on through Monday Night Raw. Heavy Machinery versus The Ascension. Heavy Machinery wins in 2 minutes. Otis landed a big splash out of the corner, a Vader bomb of sorts for the pin. Heavy Machinery versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Otis pinned Hawkins after the Caterpillar in 1 minute. Man, so much for Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins getting back together, losing in a minute to a team that was already in a match. Great job there. Great job there, WWE. Now, I don't understand who else did they beat? They beat the B team. I'm sorry. Forgive me for missing out on the fucking B team. Didn't take long to beat them. 2 minutes for the B team as well. We had Curtis Axel doing Fortnite dances in the ring. goes to show you what WWE thinks about their fucking tag team division when you got former fucking champions doing Fortnite dances in a match on Monday Night Raw. By the way, how did he pin? Who won here? Otis pinned Bo. Who cares? Anyway, Heavy Machinery. Let me talk about Heavy Machinery for a second. A lot of Otis is fat, or Otis is big, or Otis is a comedian, or Otis is bizarre, or Otis is weird. This is how we're building up tag teams on Monday Night Raw now? And then the commentary is no better. The commentary is no better. If it's not coming from his colleagues, which was a recurring theme about Otis being fat, it was Corey Graves on commentary saying, well, if pro wrestling doesn't work out, Otis has a great comedic career that he could probably have after wrestling. This is how we build new teams on Monday Night Raw. Let's call them fat and comedy. What do you think that does for the viewer at home? You're portraying to the viewer watching at home that Heavy Machinery are nothing but fucking bushwhacker, fat slobs, wannabes on Monday Night Raw that aren't worth anything to the viewing audience. I don't understand this. And the simple fact that you put 3 fucking teams in the ring with them on the same night, and this match barely lasted 5 minutes, shows you that the Raw Tag Team division is absolutely fucking pathetic. Yet we're supposed to get tag team wrestling on Monday Night Raw. Once again, we're back to square one. You got Ricochet and Aleister Black walking into a tag team division on Monday Night Raw that could have been built around them. Meanwhile, WWE brought them in as a tag team. They gave the titles to the Revival, who don't look like tag team champions at all. Roode and Gable now are former champions, and nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. We went from 2 teams to 3 teams and burying the rest of the division. I have nothing more to say. I don't really get it. Tag team wrestling's on the rise in WWE, right? So we went from 2 teams in the Revival and the Glorious Ones to now 3 teams with Ricochet and Aleister Black involved. If I'm Ricochet and Aleister Black, I'm going right to Triple H and be like, bro, please, send me back down to NXT. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with me up here. Send me back down. I gotta get away from this fucking demented old fuck, Vince McMahon. Anyway. Torrie Wilson, Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Torrie Wilson. What a fucking career Torrie Wilson had, man. Unbelievable. Worthy of a Hall of Fame induction. Man. Who was it that was mentioned to me tonight? Ivan Koloff, not in the Hall of Fame. Vader, not in the Hall of Fame. Bam Bam Bigelow, not in the Hall of Fame. Victoria, not in the Hall of Fame. Who else not in the Hall of Fame? Miss Elizabeth, not in the Hall of Fame. But Torrie Wilson is in the Hall of Fame, man. Man, what a career Torrie Wilson had. What a career. Accolades for Miss Hall of Shame, Torrie Wilson. 1 Golden Thong Award. Unbelievable, man. What a fucking accolade. Oh my God, man. That's making the women on Raw and SmackDown salty. 0 championships. 0 memorable moments, from what I remember. Her value was in Playboy. She dated Billy Kidman. She dated Alex Rodriguez. And she was a terrible in-ring performer. Bra and panties matches don't count as memorable moments, man. But there you go, man. Hall of Fame for Torrie Wilson. Unbelievable, right? And people calling me sexist on social media. Listen, folks, Torrie Wilson is not a Hall of Fame performer. And it goes to show you exactly what I stated a couple of weeks ago. The WWE Hall of Fame may be a great accolade for some who really cherish their time in this business, or the WWE Hall of Fame anyway, might be something important to those who cherish their time in the company and want to be recognized for it. But the WWE Hall of Fame is an absolute fucking pathetic night in which it just is nothing more than a Vince McMahon kiss my ass club. That's all it is. Torrie Wilson's getting into the Hall of Fame, man. I wonder why. Man, that Playboy fucking spread must have been fucking fantastic back in the day with Vince McMahon and everybody in creative. Unbelievable, man. But continue thinking that Torrie Wilson's a Hall of Famer, man. She did nothing. She did absolutely nothing for the WWE. She was nothing but another fucking cookie-cutter blonde, fucking cut from the same mold as everybody else in that fucking time period. She had big breasts. She was a blonde. She was attractive. She was a fucking pinup girl. That's all they were looking for back in the day. A dime a dozen. A dime a dozen. She did nothing as far as in-ring goes. She added no value to the fucking company. She did nothing that really made her stand out in this business. But hey, Torrie Wilson's a Hall of Famer, man. Great job. Great job. Let me see people bitch and rant and moan about my opinion on Torrie fucking Wilson. Blow me. You think that's a Hall of Fame worthy nomination? Give me every fucking reason why Victoria is not in the Hall of Fame. Or Miss Elizabeth is not in the fucking Hall of Fame. You fucking cretins. Then, the shit that I have to see on my timeline. I have people, man, I swear to fucking God, their IQ is that of a fucking crayon box. Honestly. Seriously. And half of the fucking crayons are missing. People are complaining that Torrie Wilson is a better in-ring performer than Ronda Rousey. And that Ronda Rousey was given all these opportunities and Torrie Wilson wasn't given as many opportunities as Ronda Rousey. This is the shit I had to see float across my timeline. Seriously. And then you wonder why the YWC is filled with absolute fucking just... I don't even have the words to describe the community and the social media that is wrestling Twitter. I can't grasp on how someone can be that fucking dumb. Really? What the fuck is wrong with you? These are the same people that were blaming Arn Anderson for Alicia Fox being intoxicated during the house show in which it landed Arn Anderson unemployment from WWE. They were blaming Arn Anderson. Alicia Fox should be right there with Arn Anderson, terminated from WWE. Another worthless fucking act for 10 years, 11 years, who's done absolutely fucking nothing. What has Alicia Fox done in the WWE that deserves to still have a job? Absolutely nothing. You people sicken me by the fucking week. We'll talk about that on Off the Script, man. But Torrie Wilson, man, great job at that Hall of Fame, bro. Great job there. One Golden Thong Award, man. I can't wait to see her talk about that Golden Thong Award at the Hall of Fame in New York City, man. Great job, Torrie Wilson. Anyway, moving on. Enough of this bullshit. Charlotte Flair is, again, Charlotte Caruso, man, the most hardworking woman on Monday Night Raw tonight. Backstage with Charlotte, she knows that the stubborn Irish pride and huge ego of Becky Lynch will lead to her signing the contract to face her at Fastlane. She said the man doesn't compare to the Queen. Charlotte said Becky was crushed by the 60-day suspension, and that means she would have missed WrestleMania, but she's going to put her on the shelf for good on Sunday, and she'll ruin everybody's high hopes for Becky Lynch. She said the good news is the WWE Universe gets to bask in her glory when she becomes the Raw Women's Champion, man. Please, copyright infringement from Mr. Keith Lee there, Charlotte Flair. Elias is in the ring. This was great. It was anti-Philly lyrics. He says he knows that he's in Philly because there's no Stanley Cup anywhere to be found. He said everyone in Philly takes such great pride in the city because everyone's mom looks like that googly-eyed slob Gritty. He says everyone in Philly is a fat load. And he saw an Eagles fan eating horse shit on the side of the road. Says he really knows he's in Philly because the children have no future no matter how hard they try. He says this is where Bryce Harper said his career would go to die. I thought this was fucking fantastic. Those were the best lines of the evening by Elias. So Dean came out, and apparently the big match for Dean was Dean Ambrose versus Elias tonight on Monday Night Raw. Elias wins in 7 minutes. And Dean continues to try and gain advantage in this match. And we have Dean losing to a drift away by Elias. Now, I don't know what Renee Young said here, but I don't know if you guys caught this. Michael Cole mentioned that he did not re-sign a WWE contract or that he would be leaving the WWE after his contract is up. And then Renee Young actually added on top of that, yeah, he's leaving for greener pastures. Well, what the fuck was that about? It makes me believe that this whole fucking thing is a work when you say it like that. Where's he going? Is he calling Kenny Omega up? He's like, bro, I took your offer. Yeah, I'm coming to Jacksonville. Yo, Tony, meet me down at the stadium. I'm going to sign my fucking contract. What's going on? Where's he going? He's going to AEW? Where's he going? Greener pastures. What the fuck's going on? Makes me think that this whole thing is a fucking work. Renee Young even added to it. I don't know what the hell's going on, man. The more I see Dean... Now, Vince McMahon typically, when someone is on the way out, buries them. Dean is in a major program with the Shield being reunited. I want to say that he's leaving. I think it's better off if he does leave. Because if Dean Ambrose stays, there's no hope for him getting better on Raw. Or the character developing to where we want it to go. I feel like if he leaves, it would be better off for him. But it makes me think that every time we see Dean on television, this is nothing more than a work every single week. We'll see what happens, man. We only got a month left to go. Anyway, Dean lost to Elias. Who gives a shit? At the end of the match, Roman and Seth walk to the ring. Dean is in the ring. Dean is yelling at them. Seth says they need to do this together because they only have one more shot to do this the right way. Dean said no, and he left the ring. Circled the ring, he went into the crowd, and he got up into the crowd, deep into the bleachers, and he just stood there. So out comes Drew McIntyre with Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin said this might be the city of brotherly love, but this is pathetic. Drew said they don't see the hounds of justice, but instead they see nothing more than three broken stray dogs fighting for scraps at their table. Drew told Roman that this isn't the return he envisioned. Or maybe he's talking about himself. I think Drew McIntyre was talking about himself. He says they are bloody pathetic. They briefly showed Dean in the stands listening. He's leaning over the fucking banister. You don't know what the fuck he wants to do. Drew says they are going to offer them a match at Fastlane, but they don't deserve it. Oh, man, please. I don't deserve it, Drew. I don't deserve it, bro. Keep it. Keep it. Please. I'll be fine. So they're going to end this tonight, right now. They circled the ring. Dean stopped and watched. Fans chanted for the Shield again because Philadelphia is a bunch of fucking casual idiots. Dean couldn't stay away and ran to the ring. And once he got to the ring, he helped the Shield clear out the ring. And Reigns, Seth, went to the center of the ring and did the fist. Ambrose was pacing around like a lunatic, and then they were yelling, come on, come on. They both had their backs turned, and Ambrose put the fist in there, and all three were one again like they were fucking Captain America, like they were fucking Power Rangers, and Dragon Zord was about to fucking pop out of the fucking ring. It's pathetic. This was sad. I found absolutely zero interest in this. There was zero excitement in this, and they're billing this as the last time. They're billing this as the last time. So what do they do if this is the last time with Dean and Roman at WrestleMania? What do they do? I don't know where they go from here. If this is legitimately the last time for the Shield, it makes sense. If you really want to think about it, it really makes total sense for Roman to go fucking rogue and go heel and do what Dean and Seth did to him previously and go heel. Because I don't know what they do with Roman at WrestleMania. Clearly, he's fighting at Fastlane. They're not going to leave him off WrestleMania's card. You either put him against Dean, or you put him in the main event for the Universal Championship. And I know which one I don't want him in. What do you do with him? This scares me. This legitimately scares me. I don't know where they go from here, but the Shield is back together. Reunion for a fifth time. A reunion for a fifth fucking time, folks. If you're excited about this, I fear for your mental health. I really do. This was absolutely boring. You know that gif of Peter Griffin? Oh my God, who the hell cares? And he's sitting in the classroom. A gif has never been more appropriate than that one. for this sequence of the Shield. Who cares? So, obviously, they did this. I thought they were actually going to hold it off. I thought they were going to hold it off, really. Well, what I thought they were going to do was do Roman and Seth versus Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, and Bobby Lashley at Fastlane in a handicap match and then save it for the pay-per-view. And does anybody feel, or not feel, you realize that this pay-per-view is coming together on the go-home show? Like, all the matches were booked on the go-home show. This goes to show you how worthless Fastlane is. I mean, is it even needed? Who cares? I don't understand this. Sasha Banks and Tamina, man, this has the makings of a 5-star classic match of the year candidate, man. Gargano and Ricochet have to be worried that this is going to absolutely blow their match at TakeOver away. Sasha Banks and Tamina, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Tamina looked awful. She pinned Sasha Banks. I said this last week on Monday Night Raw review, last week. Don't be surprised if you see Tamina and Sasha Banks, meaning that we got Bayley and Nia Jax last week. What does WWE do? They give us the match that we all dreamt of for 7 days. Tamina is fucking terrible. She looked god-awful. And if you can't have a good match with Sasha Banks, you should just fucking quit. Seriously. Get the fuck out of the ring. They are not losing those tag team championships. Fastlane is the most predictable pay-per-view I think I've ever seen in recent memory in WWE. What do we got here? We got, I lost myself here. Charlie Caruso's interviewing the team of Black and Ricochet, asking how they respond to critics who say they don't deserve this opportunity. Listen, I love both these guys. These are my boys, but they don't deserve this opportunity. Black says that they will prove they belong. Ricochet says they are excited and humbled and ready. And the stakes are high, but he's ready to fly even higher. Great. So we get a tag team match that ended in a DQ between the Revival and Ricochet and Aleister Black. It barely went 5 minutes. Great job there, WWE. 2 of your best teams in all the company, and they get 5 minutes on Monday Night Raw. But we had to give 3 minutes and 30 seconds of that to Tamina Snuka. And we had to give 15 of that to a 6-man tag with Kurt Angle. And we had to give 5 to 4 tag teams. We couldn't give more time to these 4 men. Great job. So, we had, rack. Yeah, nice rack on Torrie Wilson, huh? Yeah. Ricochet and Aleister Black win by DQ. We had the glorious ones, Roode and Gable, come down, and they intentionally attacked the team of the Revival on the outside. So clearly this is leading to a triple threat match at Fastlane. Unannounced, unadvertised. I'm sure we're getting a triple threat match for the Raw Tag Team titles. By the way, this was an unadvertised match for the Raw Tag Team Championship. You'd think that they would do some sort of announcement before Raw goes on the air for the Raw Tag Team titles. I mean, you got 2 new guys up from NXT. Why not announce that they're fighting for the Tag Team Championships? Come on. How lazy can you be? At the end of the show, we got Stephanie in the ring with the Raw Tag Team titles. So no, we don't need any more belts being upheld by Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie's in the ring with the Raw Women's Championship. She talked up Rousey leaving the belt on the mat last week. Charlotte made her ring appearance, or ring entrance, followed by Becky. She's using the crutch. She is limping even worse as the weeks go on. I think it's a little bit too much. A little too much there by Becky Lynch on the crutch effect when she's walking down the ring. Cole said the McMahons are trying to cover for their mistake that they seem to be costing WrestleMania a marquee match. So Charlotte's in the ring taunting Becky to sign this hold harmless contract. Ronda came out and she storms to the ring like fucking Terminator. And she enters the ring. Music hits. She doesn't smile. Thank God. She's wearing long pants that say Rowdy on them. She looked good. I wish that would be her normal ring attire, because with the shorts that she wears, she's always like pulling them down and she's fixing them. She looked good here. Rousey comes out and says she didn't vacate the title. She says she wanted Stephanie to include Becky, not exclude her. Now give me my title back, she said. Fans were not crazy for Rousey here. Stephanie handed her the title back. Sarcastically says, "Here you go, champ." So she hands Ronda the title as if Rousey was a 9-year-old girl. Stephanie and Charlotte and Becky will now wrestle, or Stephanie said Charlotte and Becky will now wrestle at Fastlane. If Becky loses, she's done. But if Becky wins, she will be added to the Raw Women's title match at WrestleMania. Stephanie said if that satisfies Ronda Rousey. Stephanie then says if this is what the fans want, she seems to expect a huge cheer, but it was a mixed reaction. Now, Rousey went on a fucking tangent here. She went on a rant. And this was very Paul Heyman-esque. And it was reported that Paul Heyman definitely does have a hand in everything regarding Ronda Rousey. Now, Rousey said she makes WWE too much money, or she makes WWE too much money to fire her. She said she can go rogue whenever she wants because Stephanie values her bank account more than Charlotte and Becky's frail little bodies. Rousey said she worked her ass off and did everything that she could to respect the business and exceeded every expectation and poured her heart out for them and sacrificed her body for them. She said then they booed her at the Staples Center and cheered for Becky. She said she is done pretending. She is no longer there to entertain them. She said she could break Charlotte and Becky's noses with a sneeze. She says this, and I quote, "I am not your dancing monkey, not anymore. Damn your fantasies, damn the man, no more Miss Nice Bitch." And boo the woo. She kicked Charlotte. Camera was all over the fucking place here. She went after Becky and applied the armbar on Becky Lynch. Charlotte teased getting in the ring, and she did not get in the ring, and she allowed Becky to get her ass kicked, which is a great heel maneuver by Charlotte. You know, this is a great move in general. Smart. This is my opponent on Sunday. Get your ass kicked. Break your fucking arm. I'm going to win the match. You ain't going to WrestleMania. So, Cole noted that Becky already signed the hold harmless agreement. Rousey went back after Becky again. Charlotte watched from a safe distance on the stage, and Rousey went after Becky's arm again and put her in the arm bar. And Ronda completely went rogue, and that was it. Now, people are saying if this is a heel turn. I don't necessarily think this is a heel turn. I want to say it's a heel turn. It was definitely done with heel intentions. But this is Rousey pretty much sticking up for... This is the way I see it. This is Rousey sticking up for herself on social media. Now, this is just the way of the feud. Rousey was not going to be cheered anyway. I think WWE realized that, and you just might as well just play up to the fact that Ronda Rousey going into this thing with Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, nobody's going to be cheering for either Charlotte or Ronda with Becky being there. They want Becky as the women's champion. And with the bullying that Ronda Rousey is enduring from Becky Lynch on social media, Ronda Rousey said, next time I see you, I'm going to beat the living shit out of you. And that's exactly what she did. I don't necessarily think it's a heel turn. I just think that it's Ronda Rousey finally being Ronda Rousey. This is Ronda Rousey who values her position as Raw Women's Champion. This is Ronda Rousey who knows that there is no main event without her in it. And they tried to take the title from her without actually having a legit reason to take the title from her. Even though she did lay it at the feet of Stephanie McMahon, she never vacated the title. This is Ronda Rousey saying, bitch, give me my fucking title. I don't fucking need you. I don't need all these games. Without me, you ain't making any money. And here you are. This is the Ronda Rousey that we got. It's a simple humanized aspect for Ronda Rousey that any normal human being would exude in this situation. It's not Ronda being heel. It's the simple fact that this woman has been pushed to the brink and her anger came out. So what? Any normal human being, you or I, would have done the same fucking thing if you were pushed to that breaking point and you held it in for so long, it's eventually going to burst over time. Ronda's not heel. Ronda's probably going away after WrestleMania. When Ronda comes back, she's going to be right back to being babyface. It's not a heel turn. It may look like that, and it's not going to last for the duration of Ronda's career in WWE. It is what it is. Stephanie said that at the end of it, they had a interview with Charlie Caruso. Again, all over the place with Charlie here tonight. Stephanie said Rousey showed her true colors and proved she is the animal she believed her to be all along. She said she has no regard for anyone, not her opponents, the audience, or the WWE. Stephanie says she feels bad for Becky. She said she is sick to her stomach. Who the hell does Ronda believe she is to do that? She said she can't wait to see what happens at WrestleMania, whether it's against Charlotte or Becky or all three of them. She said they're going to get one hell of a match either way, and she can't wait to see what happens. Stephanie says she has a lot to think about before next week. This behavior needs to be addressed. Nice little cliffhanger. Not as big as the cliffhanger with Bautista, but a cliffhanger nonetheless, which gets you to tune in to Monday Night Raw next week to see what punishment the McMahons or management will bestow upon Ronda Rousey. Now, is it the right time for Ronda to go rogue and go heel? You know, probably, because it was probably going to end up being that way at WrestleMania anyway. And I don't really like Stephanie McMahon being all righteous in the end. Like, Stephanie is a cutthroated bitch, and she was out there trying to be all cutthroat with Becky Lynch a couple weeks ago. Now she's for Becky Lynch. Even though she said she doesn't like Becky Lynch, she feels bad for Becky Lynch, and now she's standing up for Becky Lynch, and now she's going to have swift punishment, and there's going to be circumstances to be paid, consequences to be paid here for Ronda Rousey's behavior. Now, I didn't want to see another Charlotte Flair Becky Lynch match either. It makes it all too predictable. There's no way that Becky Lynch is not going to win that match and not go to WrestleMania. So, unless Charlotte is just voluntarily just going to Fastlane to just lose on the road to WrestleMania, doesn't really bode too well for her going into WrestleMania in the end. I just don't know, man. I think, like I said before, WWE is doing too much for this storyline, and it's coming off as such when they had everything just handed to them and presented to them. I just don't know why they had to take these extra routes to get us to this point. I don't know. It does offer up a nice little journey. It offers up this unpredictability per storyline, but when you got Charlotte and Becky Lynch in a match to determine if Becky is going to WrestleMania or not, and that has to be the outcome, I don't like that. Everything that we've seen up until this point is leading to that. You should have kept this woman off of television and left it a fucking cliffhanger for us a week before WrestleMania. We didn't need this predictable garbage for Becky Lynch to be included in the WrestleMania main event again. And what does that mean for the Royal Rumble? You know, worthless the fucking Royal Rumble ended up being? Now, Seth Rollins won the Royal Rumble. He's still in his match with Brock Lesnar, crossing my fingers. But Becky Lynch won the Royal Rumble. She was taken out of the main event of WrestleMania. Now she has to fight for her right to be in the main event of WrestleMania, which makes the Royal Rumble fucking worthless. They do it every year. They do it every single year. When will the Royal Rumble really have meaning like it did in the past? You win the Royal Rumble, you go to WrestleMania. All these fucking games in between, which jeopardizes the fucking prestige and the meaning of the entire Royal Rumble event. There was no reason to sit there for 7 fucking hours. You could have minus an hour and a half off that show if this is the direction you wanted to take. I don't get it. I just don't understand WWE's logic sometimes. But anyway, I'm getting out of here, man. It is late. I gave you an hour and 20 minutes of a fucking review. If you guys enjoyed the review, please hit that thumbs up. I will see you all on Tuesday for SmackDown Live. Kofi Kingston and Kofi Mania, man. How is that going to materialize on Tuesday night? I'll see you then. And then on Wednesday, the finale of Resident Evil 2. Hit that thumbs up, man. Make sure you get your shirts. Bonfire.com. Link down in the description of this very video. Follow me on social media. JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button. And Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And if you guys missed them, you know the deal. They will all be in the eye. All the videos you missed will be in the eye that you see in the top right corner of your screen. Torrie Wilson and the Golden Thong Award. Congratulations for your Hall of Shame induction. I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys so very much. I love triggering all these fucking snowflakes and these cretins on social media. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday night for SmackDown Live.